Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a vintage look photo effect using Photoshop. Let's get started. This is my example image. So the reason that it looks vintage is because it has a kind of old-fashioned color tone to it, and also it has some texture that makes it look like it's kind of worn and torn on the edges. Here is the image that I will be using. And the first thing that I'm going to do is add the texture to it. In Google Classroom, I have saved, under the Photoshop Tutorials tab, some textures for you. So if you go to Vintage Look Photo Effect, you can see here are 4 photographs. These are actually photographs of concrete sidewalks. I'm going to choose number 13. And in this window, click these 3 buttons, or 3 dots, and go to Open in New Window. Now you have access to the Download button. So I'll click that, and it will send it to the Downloads folder. So now I can go back to Photoshop and go to File, Place Embedded, and click on my file that I just downloaded. It's in the Downloads folder, and choose Place. So if we look up here in the Layers panel, you can see I have my background layer, and now I have layer 13 directly above that. And it has these handles on the sides. I can click and drag these handles to make this the size that I need. So I'll just click and drag it, and I can drag it right off the edge there. And when you're finished resizing it, simply hit Enter on the keyboard. Next thing that I'm going to do is choose a blend mode. So in the Layers panel, where it says Normal, click to open the list of blend mode options, and you can scroll through them and choose one that you like. I like Overlay for this particular texture because it's a nice subtle effect. Now this is almost finished, but what I don't like is that it covers up too many of the details in the main focal point. So what I'm going to do is add a layer mask. So again, in the Layers panel, down here at the bottom, this is the Mask button. It looks like a rectangle with a hole in the middle of it. So I'll click that, and now on my texture layer, I have this white rectangle that's attached to it. Next, I'm going to get the brush tool from the Photoshop toolbox here. So click to select that. Up here are your brush options. So I'm going to choose a soft round brush, and the size for my photo is 600, and the hardness I have all the way over here on 0, which means it's really soft. So I'm going to just click to make this go away, make the panel go away. And then I just need to double check that I have black as my color here in my foreground color. If you don't have black, you can click these Restore Default little squares right here, and that restores it to white and black. Then you can click this little arrow, which will swap the colors. So now I have black. Now with my tool, my brush tool, I can go through and kind of erase a little bit where and bring my flower back so that I can see the details in some parts of it. And I've also, up here under the opacity of the brush tool, I've set mine to 50% so that it's a little more subtle. So I think that looks pretty nice right there. Now the last thing that I'm going to do is give it that tint that special color. So down here in the Create New Fill or Adjustment Layer button, I'm going to click that and choose Photo Filter from the list. And that gives me all sorts of options. So I have warming, cooling, all sorts of different colors. Sepia, which is the traditional kind of old-fashioned brownish tint toning. So let's try that one and see what it looks like. So right now the density is set at 25. I can see a little bit of difference, but if I move the slider to the right, I can make it a really dark tone of sepia. You don't have to do sepia. Please do experiment with other options. Let's try blue just for fun. So to me that looks like way too much, way too heavy-handed. So I'm going to back that off a little bit. Maybe something right around there. And everyone's photo will look different. I'm going to show you one more example, and that is a photo that's going vertical. So here is a bunch of grapes. All right, I have previously saved a texture that I want to use, so I'm going to go to File, Place Embedded, and choose number 6 and click Place. Now you can see that the file is going horizontal and I want it to be vertical. So what I'm going to do is go to Edit, Transform, Rotate 90 degrees clockwise, and that changes the image. Now I'll just grab this corner handle and stretch it out. I'm going to click and drag it towards the top, and then drag and stretch out this handle here. And I'll just reposition that. And when I'm finished, enter on the keyboard. Now go to my blend modes. I'll try overlay again. That looks pretty cool. Almost reminds me of an advertisement for a winery. Next, I will click my layer mask, get my black paintbrush, and I still have it set at 50%. And then I'll just erase a little bit to bring out some of the grape. The last thing that I'm going to do is add the photo filter. So again, in the Layers panel, select the Create New Fill or Adjustment Layer button and choose Photo Filter from the list. This time, because this is a really warm photo, I'm going to choose a cool filter. So I'm going to try deep blue and see what that looks like. And actually, I think that looks pretty cool. So I'm going to go with that one. So make sure that you save your changes and turn your project in. That's it for this video. Have fun.